Lego Marvel Superhero. What's good about this game? The levels are good. I like the story. It has a good cast of characters and stuff. Like, the character selection stuff is pretty good. You can see a little bit of influence from the MCU, especially with the story. Like, you got Loki, and he looks exactly like the Avengers Loki. Thought that was pretty neat. The open world Manhattan is pretty cool. I like that you can actually swim in the water instead of like in Lego Batman 2, where you immediately die in the water. Yeah, the hub world I really loved as a kid, and I still do. It's pretty cool, and like it's pretty funny. Like you can't go out of bounds because of the invisible force field. I mean, it's not an actual force field, but like the game developers won't let you. But they have a little nod towards it. Like if you go to the big giant bridge, there's a construction worker, and he's like, "Oh, the bridge won't be open until we get it all fixed up." And as a kid, I thought they were gonna fix the bridge, and then I was gonna play in the other towns. That didn't happen though, because it was just their excuse of not letting you play in the other towns because they didn't develop it. But it was pretty cool, and it's better than what they did in Lego Batman 2, which in Lego Batman 2 it just seemed like you're an island covered with mountains because you see mountains, and then like a little part of it is Metropolis, but it's a silhouette, which I thought was a little bit disturbing. And it's like I thought Gotham was just a big giant city island as a kid. Yeah, you get to play it. You don't have to do the whole thing when you're selecting characters. The vehicles are cool too. This is overall a fun game. I give it like a B plus. They also have a customization thing where you can make your own characters, but it's just a mishmash of other characters in the games, and you can only select from like 15 outfits, which is sad. Like you should select from all the outfits, not just 15 selected ones. So it's like a limited thing. But overall, the game was good. Okay, and then 2 years later, because that game was made in 2013, and then the next game, the Lego Marvel game, was made in 2015. It was Lego Marvel's Avengers. I assume they did because they were like in a transitional period, because like they couldn't use the Fox characters anymore. They couldn't use X-Men and Fantastic Four, so they had the one hurrah in the first Lego game, and then they're like, since we don't have those characters, let's just use characters from the MCU. Let's just make it an MCU based game, which I thought was sad because like I like the imaginative custom story they had in the first game, and then just in the Avengers game, it's just the first Avengers movie and the second Avengers movie, and like Age of Ultron kind of sucks and kind of boring, and like it looks awful. Like the box art looks so busy and sad. It's like, why would I want to play this? And like the costumes in that movie, they kind of sucked. And like so like the minifigs Lego people in here, they kind of look terrible, and they don't gel well with the comic book Lego characters. But that's like my complaints about it. Like I like playing for the Avengers game. I wish you could play for all the movies, but they're like you can only put in between Avengers and Age of Ultron. You can only play 3 levels, which was the Age of Ultron, which was Iron Man 3, the Winter Soldier, and like Thor: The Dark World. Which like why would they do that? They know Thor: The Dark World is critically panned, but I think they didn't know that. But play for that level was so weird because it was so depressing and stuff. But now in here they did something a little bit different, since they just took the Manhattan from the first game and put it in here, so you can still play around Manhattan. They did change a little bit of it because they couldn't have the X-Mansion, so they did the Avengers base that were introduced at the end of the Avengers Age of Ultron movie, and had a starring role in the Civil War movie, which I thought the design of it is pretty cool, but it's like so barren over there, and but like the rest of the map is pretty cool. I don't like the afternoon light setting, because it's a little bit too red. I wish it was just the middle of the day like in the first game. But in here they have like 3 or 4 mini maps. They have like Asgard, Sokovia, like the destroyed Sokovia in the sky. That was pretty fun to play with. The docks, the headquarters, Shield headquarters in the beginning of the Avengers movie, and I think one other map. Oh yeah, the Manhattan map. I guess only 5. Oh no, 6 because you got the farm, Hawkeye's farm. Yeah, playing those are fun, and they actually had good DLC levels. They got like 4. The least one I liked was the Agents of Shield one, because like it's the Agents of Shield show, and it's like it looks so bland and generic, and like no one watched like if you're a kid playing this game, you probably wouldn't even check out Agents of Shield, and like the characters are all office. It's like having an Lego Office game, which actually that'd be pretty cool. They should make a Lego TV show game. That'd be besides the point. The characters, there's a whole bunch of characters, and they're all fun to play with, especially the DLC characters. Like I like playing Hyperion and other characters. They got a better customization thing, because they actually let you pick a bunch of them, but too bad you can't like change the color of the outfits and stuff to actually make your own. But like I had fun. Like the first game's DLC, the Lego Superhero Marvel game, like it only had like a few like Thor the Dark World characters, and like 4 like Dark Phoenix, Winter Soldier, A-Bomb and stuff. It's like it was so sad. But I get for during that time, you can't have a lot of DLCs. But I had mixed thoughts on the Lego Marvel Avengers game when I first played it, because of the issues I brought up. I thought it was fine, then I had to replay it again since I played it on the Wii U. Erased my save file, so I had to play it again. I was a little bit annoyed at that. And then I played it for a third time recently, in November, because it was super cheap. It was a discount price. It only cost like $7 for everything, including the DLC, which was pretty cool. And I had a better time. And like I like the speedster characters in there, since I'm a speedster fan. I like running fast and stuff. Overall it's not as good as the first Lego Marvel game, but it's not the worst Lego game. And then 2 years later, which I think is pretty funny, is 2-year period. In 2017 is Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Since they're like in here. It's really good. It's a really solid game. I like the open world. It's just a mismatch. It's just a different multiverses. Stuff like you got the Western, you got Xandar, you got Sokovia, you got Asgard, you got an underwater city, you got the Inhuman city, you got Medieval's kingdom and Wakanda and stuff. And like I like that. I thought it was pretty cool. Chronotopolis is pretty cool. And the villain of this game is Kang, which I find pretty funny, because, they started to use Kang in the MCU. So I think it's just like the Lego games probably had people from Marvel tell them, hey, we're going to use Kang and stuff, so why not tease them, like, very early on. I thought that was pretty cool. Here, they mostly use, like, Spider-Man characters and stuff. They have a bunch of Spider-Man characters again, which is pretty cool, but like they used a bunch of Spider-Verse characters before the Spider-Verse movie came out, so I think Sony's like, okay, you could use our characters, but you have to add Spider-Ham, Spider-Gwen and stuff to the main roster. And they're like, okay, we like Spider-Man. I mean, I like Spider-Man too. And then they have Inhumans, because I think they were told by the higher up, they're like, oh, next year the Inhumans are getting a movie, which they didn't, because the guy who wanted the Inhumans in the MCU wasn't able to allow to do it, since he was basically fired and put in the TV show division. But I like the Inhumans. They are pretty cool in this game. They were pretty well integrated. Some of the movie looks, because like the game still got influenced by the MCU. Like Thor's is from Thor Ragnarok, that look and stuff. So they were like, we want synergy. So that some of the characters, if there was a recent movie in 2017 MCU, they reflect in the game, like Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Black Panther, Spider-Man, you know, and like all their costumes are actually works well. Well, apart from like Thor's outfit a little bit, because like this game picks up like a day, I think, immediately after the first game, which I find is pretty fun. It's a bit jarring and stuff because they all look different and stuff. Or maybe it's like a few days or a week, but they have like an after party where like we finally defeat Kang, but none of the characters we teamed up in the first game are here. They just mysteriously disappear, and the excuse is like, you know, like Kang took a chunk of Manhattan because he likes it, and it was like during Christmas, and put it in Chronopolis. So I think that's how they explain it. They don't explain it that much, but I do like the story this time around. You know, still I think it's a little bit better than the first game, because the first game, like, you get to team up with the bad guys at the end. I thought that's going a little bit too far, because like, you know, they're really bad people, but I get it because they have to versus Galactus and stuff. And I like that Galactus and Loki are the villains. Loki was the main villain. He wanted Galactus to eat the Earth so he could conquer it or stuff. And I don't. Yeah, I had fun with this game. If I had a tier list, it'll be the Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and then Lego Marvel Superheroes 1, and then Lego Marvel Avengers. But only for like this other stuff. But like, now, like, I do replay Lego Marvel Avengers a little bit more. I mean, recently, because like, you know, there's more to do, and like those other maps are pretty fun to play with and stuff. And like, oh yeah, the second game had the best custom creator thing, because like you get to pick out all the outfits. You could do a bunch of mishmash. You could choose different hairs, and you could color it in and stuff. You could make different color helmets. But no, but for like the official like minifix, like you can't like change the color of certain characters. Like you can't change the color of like Iron Man's helmet or anything, which that's a sad missed opportunity. But in the next game they released, the Lego games release was Lego Marvel Supervillains, and they let you change the color of all the outfits and stuff, and like all the helmets and stuff, and all the hair, and you know, that has the best customized characters. But here, you know, it's pretty solid too. You know, not as good as the Supervillains game, but like, you know, obviously that was the next game, which came out in 2018, so they obviously, like, you know, upgraded more. It's so weird seeing the evolution of the games where it gets, you could create more and more characters. You know, you have more characters and more vehicles and stuff. The only thing I don't like about Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 is where you don't, you know, you don't do regular stuff to get vehicles. Like, you have to do like weird like quests. Like, you have to go for like a bunch of birds to get this certain vehicle and stuff, and I don't really like that. I don't have time to like search the whole map and stuff and do all that thing. You know, like, that's why you need a walkthrough, like, for that part. But I like the DLCs in this game, even though they had some stuff like the Runaways and Cloak and Dagger. Like, no one knows who those characters are. I thought they should have done like the DLC should have like done like stuff and like more unique, not just try to advertise other TV shows that were coming out. Like, they had like Marvel adjacent shows like the Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, another show. Like, they were all on the Freeform and whatever. But you know, it's a pretty solid game. I like playing it. They all have good qualities. I remember when I first played Lego Marvel Superheroes, I was blown away, and it just keeps getting better. Well, I mean, like the maps and stuff, like the after the fact, you know, it gets better and better. Now, like, now Lego Marvel Avengers have a little bit of problems, but you know, it's not a bad game. All these are good games. You know, like, I could see a kid enjoying all of them, because I enjoyed all of them. Well, I mean, maybe not Lego Marvel Avengers, like what I said, but like, no, like, I just think I was just like a bit better and angry. But now, other than that, pretty solid all around the board. That's my thoughts on it. Yeah, that's it. Bye.